Hello, everyone. Welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman
and Brianne Steinberg. Hey guys, it's Bree here. I just wanted to give you a quick reminder. This is our last week to make sure that you get into our draw to win Kaleidoscope swag, all the new stuff that Jake is putting out there. You're going to win a t-shirt, a print, and a new pair of shoes. So don't forget to comment on any of our Spotify episodes to be entered into our draw. We will announce the winner on November the 2nd at our 1-year anniversary episode of Artistically Married.
All right. Today our episode is about the power of persuasion.
Yeah, I thought it would be a fun opportunity to talk about this. This tends to be not overwhelming. That's not the word. It's a continuous topic of conversation when it comes to business. But I think it carries into like your personal life too. I think anybody going into any communication situation, any relationship, really, like, we want the conversations to go smoothly. Nobody wants confrontation. So I think this episode really is about, like you said, the power of persuasion. We're going to talk about your words and like the actual expressions that you can use to really generate the conversations that you're looking for and the interactions that you're looking for in your relationships. Especially in business, but also in any relationship. And then we're going to go into kind of a little more of the parapsychology side of it, which is more just the persuasion of energy and being able to use some of those techniques with people and the interactions around you. So we're going to get into it. The first part of the episode, we're going to talk about manifestation, which has been so big and influential in my life. In the last year, I've really kind of focused in on this tool and being able to manifest and goal set. And, it's unbelievable the difference that goal setting has made in my business and our family and all our endeavors really over the last year since I joined a mastermind company.
Yeah.
How about you? Set some goals?
Yeah. Trying to.
Yeah. Manifestation is really cool. Like, you get an idea. We talked about this. Oh my God, has it been 6 months ago? The Spark of Genius episode?
Probably.
So I think really the manifestation piece is kind of it comes from the spark of genius, right? It comes from like that moment where you have this idea and then you're like, how am I going to make this happen? You get the idea and then what do you do with it? How do you make it happen from there? So I read through a whole bunch of different studies from very biology-based neuroscience surgeons to the other side, very... people would say it's hocus pocusy, like very Reiki and yoga and meditation practitioners. And they all say the same thing. They all talk about this ability to focus your attention on a goal and literally change your brain structure by embedding intentions into your subconscious. They all found that individuals can activate brain networks that align thoughts and behaviors towards their desired outcome. So I think that's just so powerful. I love that. Do you want to talk about Bruce Lipton?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because we got into Bruce Lipton, like, it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, like, just the concept of epigenetics, like, blew my mind. Do you want to talk to our listeners about epigenetics?
Yeah, so he was a geneticist or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, he was a geneticist.
And, yeah, he would put the same cells into different environments. And then the cells would grow completely different depending on what environment they're in. So if you have basically like the same cell put into different parts of your body, that cell will just grow into what it's needed to be in those areas.
Yeah, and I think he really...
Where it's coming from the same thing. So basically the point that he was getting from that, though, is that you can adapt instantly to change for your environment rather than saying it's my genetics.
It's predetermined. Yeah, you're predisposed to stuff. Yeah, exactly. And I think it was really cool because he was really involved or studying with stem cells. So I think stem cells are really like a good example of how like cells can really change into anything you want them to turn into. So when we're talking specifically about manifestation, we're talking about the brain cells being in a different, imagine it kind of like a chemical bath. And your chemical bath comes from your emotions. You have hormones in your body, and they create these like, chemical baths for different cells. And so that's going to really get your genes to express differently. And you're going to see, I love twin studies. Twin studies are my favorite, because you're seeing the exact same person. They're genetical copies of each other, but based on the environment and their experience that they've had, they end up in a really, a different state. You see twins, they look completely different. One looks like they're ready to go, and the other one looks like they're 20. So yeah, he was really interested in kind of how manifestation played a part on the physical body and the physical cells. And then also I thought this was really cool. There was a study done on the neural pathways when you're thinking about something. So, they would show someone a video of like going for a bike ride, or showing someone or actually going for a bike ride, and the neural pathways were the same. They were going through the same neural pathways. So your body was like thinking that your visualization, whether you're seeing it or you're closing your eyes, you're imagining it, or you're seeing it on a screen, your brain thinks that you're going through that same practice. So I'm just gonna do a little disclaimer here that I don't think watching someone bike ride is gonna help you lose weight. No. But maybe.
Well, it's interesting. They have high-speed motorcycle racers. Before the track, they visualize the entire track in their mind. So, like, it kind of looks like they're having a seizure or something, because their eyes will be closed and they got, like, their arms up as if they're, like, in a bike, and they're just leaning left and right, and they're kind of off in this little world. But they visualize the entire race before it happens, and that apparently really helps them.
That's amazing. Yeah, totally. And it really is the same goes for anything. Anytime I'm gonna have a big event, or like we're going to a competition, or we're about to like put on a show, like the night before recital. Actually, I've gotten much better at this because now I have a team, but I'm awake all night because I'm visualizing everything that's gonna happen. And I think, as a professional, we do this to try to prevent problems, but I think it's just as easy to visualize it, to like see yourself, completing a race, or, like doing something confident that you're really nervous about the next day. Like you always say that about like jobs, where you're just like, oh, I got a job tomorrow. And I'm like, your brain's kind of processing it so that you can accomplish it, right? Your brain's already digesting what you're going to have to do tomorrow.
Yep.
Sometimes it comes off as like paranoia, but I really think it's the body's way of like preparing and manifesting what you're about to happen. So it really is, your ability to make something happen and visualize it. And that power of persuasion to like, you're just persuading yourself into doing it, right? In these manifestation techniques. So I think that's cool. Yeah. And then I also just want to put in a little bit there about meditation. So again, it's that helping yourself come, you want like things to come to fruition, right? You want something to happen. So a lot of times, I think meditation can look different for a lot of people. We were talking about this off air. But yeah, you could just, you can meditate so that you end up healing yourself. You can meditate so that you end up in a better state of mind. Sometimes I'm just stomping around the house because I'm miserable at what? Like I'm just have to do housework, or I have to do my work or whatever, my business. So I think, meditation can be really used however you want it to be. But just kind of giving yourself those like silent moments, typically with your eyes closed, or maybe you're listening to music, where you can really get your brain in a state where you're ready for change, or you're ready to like make something happen. So yeah, I love meditation for that reason. Persuade yourself to do anything. Okay, yeah, and same thing. There was like a bunch of studies done in behavioral psychology. The mere act of stating something, stating a goal or an intention, increases the likelihood of achieving it. And this phenomenon is known as the mere measurement effect. It just demonstrates that, articulating your goals can prime individuals to take action and make it happen. And then I love this mixed with the accountability of like collective and intentional thoughts of a group. So, you just take it to the next level, right? You're like, okay, I believe this can happen. I know this can happen. I can do this. And then you sign up for a club that's like everybody's doing it, right? So now it becomes your intention, but now you're sharing the collective success of it happening. They studied hunter-gatherer societies, and they really showed that kind of like the shared intention of these groups, when the individuals aligned their groups together, tended to work a lot better.
Yeah, of course.
You probably see this. I mean, we both do, but you probably see this a lot in like your
you
work
together
life,
as
right?
a team, and things go smoothly.
Yeah, well, especially when you're looking at something like your job where it's like construction, right? Like you guys are all working together, and to see like, oh my God, we just like built this house or built this room is like powerful.
Yeah.
And obviously the
And
designer.
I guess those accomplishments are easier to see than other things.
Totally. Yeah, I'm going to use my business as an example as well, but I think yours is very concrete, and like you're watching a building get erected.
It's literally concrete.
It's literal concrete. Exactly. It's a dad joke. Yeah, so it's that accountability factor too. I think that's why we have the systems we do in place, where you have a boss or you have an owner, and the owner has the vision and the mission, and then they tell the workers. Like otherwise workers would just show up and be like, yo, like, I'm just going to do nothing all day. Like, I don't know. Your boss tells you what to do, right? He gives you the vision. So I've really seen this huge, because my business, it's not as easy to see. I mean, dance kids are coming in, parents are bringing them, but we're building like an invisible culture. And I think that's a little bit different, but it's the same type of thing where you're like putting intentionality into play, and you're seeing it, come to fruition. So we are setting goals in terms of like, we want, this many kids doing this much, and we want collective success with the business. So we are seeing it as well. But again, it's just growing, growing an invisible energy instead of a concrete building. So yeah, I think this has been a continuous conversation for the two of us, because I have always been comfortable promoting myself. I've always been comfortable selling myself and my whatever I have to sell, right? I've always been in that scenario where I don't mind persuading people to buy something. And I think it's because when I was thinking about this podcast, I think that when I'm persuading someone to buy something, specifically to buy into my business or one of my ideas, I truly feel like I'm guiding them or like educating. I don't feel like I'm convincing someone or manipulating someone. Like I don't feel bad selling someone a membership to a dance studio. I don't. I feel like it's amazing for their children. It's going to be amazing for the parent, because they're going to see all these like totally different things happening in their kids. So I've never had an issue with sales specifically because I'm selling a product that I believe in and I love. But for you, it's been a little difficult. I feel like you have always been defensive. You'll say things to me like, don't bother them, leave them alone. Don't talk to that person. Don't just walk up to that person like you're in their space. And that might just be like, you don't want people to bombard like you don't want to be manipulated,
I don't know, but yeah.
Okay, well, let's go the other way. I feel like you don't promote yourself.
Yeah.
You don't tell people what you're doing. You don't try to sell people things.
I've noticed that even doing the podcast and having guests, that some people will come in and they'll be saying amazing things, but just the way that they're saying it, that doesn't sound confident, and it really doesn't sell it when you listen back. And it's all just in the language, because the content is good, but then just how you word things makes you sound like you don't know what you're talking about, or even how you say it. And I notice in myself that I do that all the time. I have very unconfident language when I talk to people. So that can make like if you're showing up at a job and you don't seem confident, this can worry people. Obviously, they're like, oh, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. But I'm kind of just going through the options in my head and saying, well, you could do it this way, you could do it this way, where maybe people just want like, oh, I'm the best and this is what you need, or something like that.
Totally. Yeah, and being married to you, I think I've like done the other way, where I'm like, I sound so confident, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just like gibbering on and just putting in words that I like think sound good, you know?
Well, that's how I feel. I
Fake
think
it till you make it, baby.
it's like humbleness and just realism kind of gets in the way. Because,
Reflective, yeah. Well, I think I think then, you know, think this is a perfect interlude into what we're going to talk about. This was a book that was strongly suggested by my mastermind company. It's by Phil M. Jones, and it's called Exactly What to Say. And it's a really tiny book. That was the big joke this summer. I was carrying it around for like 2.5 months, and it was like 100-page book, like super tiny.
Yeah.
Giant letter. Like it was really just like a magazine. But we were busy, whatever, in the summer. But anyways, I did get through it, and I wanted to share it with you guys for any of our business listeners. I know I do these episodes every once in a while. That I'm really interested in growing my business right now and all our businesses. But really, I think this can like be put into, it's not just for like business, you're trying to sell a product. I think this is like the psychology behind language, and exactly like you said, how certain words create powerful results for people. And the reason why I think it works is because it's the psychology behind it. It's creating powerful emotions, and people buy and agree and disagree and confront and don't confront. I think all of those things come from people's emotions. So when you're giving people you're coming off as confident, but you're giving people those like positive emotions, then they're more likely to be influenced by what you're saying. Again, it's not in this context. A lot of times it is about getting someone to buy into your idea, but maybe you're trying to pitch them a job in your company. Maybe you're trying to pitch them a friend in your volunteer group. Maybe you're trying to pitch them like, just come to this event with me. Like, I really want to go to see this concert, and you're trying to convince your friend to do it. So it is just about confident language and picking like certain words that evoke these like powerful emotions with people. So this is Phil M. Jones, Exactly What to Say. We're going to walk you through just kind of the key points. He talks about these things called magic words, and his magic words are certain simple phrases that almost instantly, give you the upper hand. It gives you the ability to influence people's decisions and to open up conversations and have them be more open to your ideas. So I think these are really great ways for someone like you, where you're like, oh, I'm really nervous. If you just knew that you had to put these 5 words in the beginning of a sentence, that could really help you, because you might sound unconfident, but those 3 words might be like what saves you. And I've really implemented them now in all of my sales pitches and all of my interactions with my clients. And it has helped a lot with my marketing. We're going to get into branding, but it really has helped on my individual level of getting clients into the studio and having them. It makes a difference between having a kid come in and signing up for classes that go towards the rest of the year. So yeah, do you want to start with the first 4?
Sure. Okay. So the first one is, I'm not sure if it's for you, but this phrase lowers resistance and sparks curiosity, making people more receptive. I think that's tapping into like a FOMO kind of thing.
Yeah.
Open-minded. So I guess asking someone to be open-minded encourages exploration rather than immediate rejection.
Yeah, just asking someone like, are you open-minded? And they'll be like, no, I'm closed-minded. I hate everything, you know?
Well, I like, you're just like, yeah, keep an open mind.
Yeah.
If you're, I don't know, bringing in some kind of wild claim.
Yeah, exactly. If you're telling them something crazy, be like, be open-minded when I tell you this next story, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you know? Inviting someone to share their knowledge empowers them and positions you as a collaborative partner.
Yeah, this was like a big one for me, because I was always the one being like, and my studio and blah, 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 and, you know, and I wasn't coming back and saying to them like, you know, have you danced before? What is your experience with dance? How do you feel about dance? So like that was, that's been a big one for me, that I've been able to be more of a listener first before I'm sales pitching people. And I think people give you a lot of information that later you can use as like, you know, becoming a partnership, instead of it constantly being you force feeding someone. They feel like they're contributing.
Yep. How would you feel if? So framing outcomes emotionally helps people visualize benefits and consequences. And same thing, like you're valuing their input too.
100%. And you're trying to figure out what makes them tick, right? Like I've said to parents before, like, how would you feel if all of a sudden your kid came in and they felt like they were at home? They felt like they had 20 friends around them at all times in their dance class, and they like felt like they had this like core group that they could talk to. And as they became a teenager, they had this support of a dance studio, right? That's huge for parents to visualize the fact that they can see it. They can see, oh my gosh, my kid's going to have a home here. This is going to be their place, right? So, okay, the next one is just imagine. So same thing. You're encouraging someone to imagine different scenarios. You're creating engagement and excitement about various possibilities that might be better for them. When would be a good time, I think, is just really, trying to get people out of the headspace of like, I'm so busy. Like, I just don't have time. I can't take on one more thing. Everybody feels like that right now. Everyone feels like they can't commit to something. They can't do one more thing because they're so busy. So offering them a choice of like when is the best time for you gives them a decision-making power, but it also makes sure that they like commit to something, right? They're telling you that like right now is not great, but call me in 3 weeks. And I have this all the time with clients, and it's reality. Like they're like, I have my kid's birthday party, and then we're going away on vacation, and then my cousin's coming to visit, and it's just too much for them. They're like, you know what, call me in December, and like December I'll talk about it. And then after you touch base again, just saying to them, I'm guessing that you haven't got around to it. That is a little bit manipulative, I would say. That's kind of making someone like feel bad and rubbing their nose in it that they didn't do it, assuming that they didn't. And then sometimes people are like, they surprise you, like, you know what, I did, and they're not interested, or I did, and yeah, they're down, right? So sometimes they surprise you, but I actually feel like I don't use this phrase, but I use a lot of things like, I know you were too busy on the weekend to look that over for me. But, and then, yeah, sometimes they surprise you. Most times then they don't feel as bad. You're almost like giving them an out. You're saying like, don't worry about it. Like, I know you had something on and it didn't get done, and it's fine. Yeah. And then simple swaps, just suggesting like different alternatives that might make someone feel a little more comfortable.
All right. You have 3 options. Presenting limited choices directs decisions while maintaining autonomy.
Yeah, this has literally changed my business. It's changed my life. It's changed the entire way I've looked at human psychology. I myself have always felt like when I have more than 3 options, I shut down. I can't pick. There's too much choice. I don't know what to do. I freeze. I have this it feels like a physical thing where I'm like having a panic attack, and then I leave. And it happens to me all the time with the kids. That's why I shop at La Coco's. Shout out to La Coco's, because they got your produce and your meat, and I don't have to pick any options. There's one set. Well, there's like 3 apples, or there's 2 banana type. There's 1 banana type. All the things. This has changed my life, and it really does. When you're presenting things to clients, give them 3 choices. Even if there's only 1 choice, give them 3. Because if you give them 3, they know they have to pick one, and their brain all of a sudden goes, I don't like that one. I love that one, but it's too expensive. I pick that one. Every single time the brain does that. The brain goes, nope, that one's crappy. That one's too good for me. That's my choice. And we always do it. And you honestly, as like a person, I do it to the kids. Like, I'm like, okay, guys, like we got to go. We're going for lunch. You want this, or this? Always 3 choices. So that has been so powerful in my life. Unbelievable.
Yeah. 2 types of people. Categorizing options or behaviors subtly influences self-identification and choice.
Yeah. Again, this one can be a little skeezy, a little manipulative. Like, well, are you stupid or are you smart? Like, are you lazy or are you motivated? Like, it could be a little, it's towing the line.
For sure.
Yeah.
I bet you're a bit like me. It's building rapport by highlighting common ground, increases trust and openness.
Yeah. I mean, this goes without saying, everyone wants to relate, right? Like you trust someone that you relate to because you're similar.
Sure. Yep. If then, linking actions to outcomes clearly demonstrates cause and effect. Yeah. I don't know what else you can say for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're telling them if you pick this one, then this is going to happen. And that's usually like, you're leading them into it. Or allowing them to imagine it. Don't worry. I think I'll say that a lot to parents, because you can just tell like it reduces their anxiety and resistance. It makes them way more open. more accepting. It's, everybody wants to hear that. Don't worry. I tell parents all the time, don't worry, and you're doing great. We need to hear it as parents because we just constantly are scared and feel like we're failing. So I think don't worry is huge. And my second one is you're doing great. Most people, I think people like to hear that they're common. They think that they're, socially normal. So when you say most people do this, then they're like, wow, I guess I'm like most people. We're going to talk about this a little more, but just like how the collective group influences decisions. We're going to talk about this when we do nonverbal persuasion. And yeah, the good news always kind of, turning away from, this could happen. But the good news is, that if you do this, this is going to happen. Kind of an if then again. And the next one is what happens next. Because I really think like people aren't putting necessarily like creative ideas together. So when they kind of need to be walked through. I feel like I'm like that too. I'm like, okay, well, you told me the pitch, but like, what am I supposed to do now? You need like a call to action or like, to walk people through how to get involved or whatever, right? We talk about it on the podcast, like, oh, what are we going to do next? Or what's coming up? People want that. So that's kind of nice too. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, these are all, like I said, it's Phil M. Jones. If you want to check out the book, it's exactly what to say. It was a good read. Like I said, it was not big. It wasn't daunting. But it really is trying to figure out why mental intention is so powerful. You really do want the best for someone, and being clear and open about your ideas makes you a great communicator. And it does make you much more successful in your life interactions. You're able to go confidently kind of pitch something to someone or an open idea and having them not be defensive. Okay. I never thought of this before this year, but I'm getting better and better at it every day and understanding more and more that I think these are the things where when you bake in, like we said before, the intention and the manifestation and the motivation and goal setting, when you bring in branding into your business, that's really just like, that's putting like the bow on the top of the present or putting the icing on the cake. Like it really is kind of just making it in a nice like form, or developing your shapes and your colors and your tones and your visualization, how your lettering is going to go. I think all those little details, I never had time. I didn't have time to do this with my business, but now I not only have the time to do it, but I also have this genius at graphic design working for me. That her work is just gorgeous. Like everything, I'll give her an emotion, and the next thing you know, I got this like big, huge mapped out picture of something. So I think branding is really important to a business. If you are running a business right now and you don't have a brand development, think about carving out time for yourself to figure out what your logo looks like and what you want the emotions of your company to be for people. What are people going to say when they talk about your business? I think it is a really important thing that can carry a lot of volume for your business to get a lot more like sales and get more people in the door. So yeah, just we can talk about subliminal messaging here if you want. But I think we kind of mentioned it before. But I think, yeah, like this type of thing for you just makes you get your back up against the wall.
Oh, for sure. I don't like the idea. I never trusted brands, and then being advertised to, just like it always felt like it was taking up my time whenever I wanted to watch whatever other YouTube video I was watching. So then it made me not like the product, rather than it did the opposite of what like the commercial is supposed to do, right?
What if it's a good commercial?
Doesn't matter. It's taking up the time from my video.
Yeah. And it does seem like it is. I mean, now everything's a pop-up, right? You're trying to read a website, pop-up. So there's so much involved now of like paid advertising.
Even just in the construction industry, there's so much brand loyalty. Like somebody will pick a brand of tools and that'll be all they buy.
Yeah.
Where I've never looked at it that way. I will just kind of, once you pick something with batteries, you don't really have a choice. You have to keep going along with those ones. But I even haven't done that, and I'll just look for stuff that works the way I want it to. So my garage is just full of different colors because every tool has their own color, right?
Yeah.
Or every tool brand.
Right.
So mine's just a rainbow of colors, where some people are just going to be like red and black or black and yellow, and that's all you see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Branding was something that doesn't hook me into it, but at the same time, like I'm
you recognize it anyways, right? Be like, oh, there's McDonald's, there's Tim Hortons, like,
and I do my art, and I like having like a logo and a signature and stuff like that. So
yeah. And I mean, I know what you're saying. Maybe you're just oppositional. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think, no, we have so much brand loyalty. Like, think about the things that we use on like a regular basis.
Oh, I know.
Like Counterpart.
Yeah.
We're loyal to Counterpart. We literally don't drink any other beer. Oh, Flying Monkeys.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the only 2 beers we drink.
Yeah, the odd other one, but
I'm loyal to Crocs.
Sure. Yeah, and
Tech Gear.
Yeah, there's products, and then obviously the brands that go along with them, that they're the ones that made it. So
yeah, and I think you don't even realize it because you're early in your, like, even with your own company, when you're running your construction company, you were the same way as me with my dance studio before. You didn't get that far. It was just you didn't have a team, so like you've never had to think about those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that you don't even realize it, but you are brand loyal because you are.
You know what, I thought about it at the beginning, right when I started it,
like, I need a name,
and I got like some pens made, and did I even make a website? I forget, but I remember I'm like, okay, I'm doing this, so I did all that stuff in the beginning and never did anything with it. I didn't like have shirts with my logo on it, which always I think is helpful for a construction company.
Yeah, you want to be like visible,
you look
right?
professional.
Yeah, and they can identify you as like you're the guy.
Yeah,
you're the guy doing the thing. You know,
not
just some random
some
guy walking
with a Bud
in their
Light
house.
Shirt.
Yeah. A Bud Light. I work for Bud Light. I'm gonna fix your house.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you see it so often. It's so brutal.
That's so brutal. Like the free T-shirts you get in the case
yeah.
of beer. Oh no. I think too, you're so brand loyal because you are one of those people. I know you so well that you are aware of quality. Like when you get a shirt that you really like, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy nothing but this shirt because it's so good quality.
Well, that's true.
Or
yes.
your tech equipment, Casio or Moog, right? Like you are brand loyal because of quality, which I think is why somebody should be brand loyal, not because they have a cool logo.
Yeah.
You should be brand loyal because their products are fantastic and you don't want to waste your time and money on any other product. And so I think, branding, I mean, is not just the colors. It's not just like what, their visible look is or their whatever. I think branding really is about the emotions that it evokes using that company. And it has a lot of persuasion. I mean, it has a lot of backbone when you're traveling and you're like, oh, there's a Timmy's, like, you're going to get that consistent coffee. So you go. So like the branding is the persuasion to use the business because it's consistent and it's always going to be the same.
Yeah.
For better or worse. Okay, cool. So yeah, again, it just ties back to that like authenticity of the business, being able to verbalize and use, your verbal use of like the language to get that magnetic pull, not be deceptive, but just to understand, your belief in a product. So I love it. I think branding's great. It's my new love language. So yeah, we're going to switch gears. I do want to talk about the nonverbal persuasion and kind of what that means in human interaction. Again, I don't want to say hocus pocus, but like, lots of people will deem it that. They kind of focus more on like the tangible biology or the studies done, but there's a huge part of like parapsychology that's involved in it. It is being studied as rigorously, probably even more because it has to be so defensive. And I don't want to ignore it. I think it would be denying, a big part of myself anyways, and my belief system. And I know it's, a huge discussion in our marriage too, that like these things are there, whether people want to admit it or not. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is body language and Reiki, energetic alignment. So I think this has like a huge influence. And I always describe this to people. I'm like, it's like when you say like someone has a vibe, like you walk in and for whatever reason, you're whatever reason, you kind of see someone and like for better or worse, you kind of look at them and you're like, yo, like that person was a vibe. So like you're drawn to them. It's like a magnet, right? Where you're just like, oh, I want to talk to that person, or I want to dance with that person, or I want to hang out with that person. Or it could be the other way where your body kind of subconsciously tells you like, stay away. Like, I don't trust that person. That person feels dangerous to me. So I mean, maybe it's not intentional. Maybe that's not what the person is thinking, but that is part of our human superpower, is that we have this nonverbal, whether it's the body language or our appearance or whatever the vibe or energy we're putting out. It really does have persuasion over people, and it really changes the people around you.
Oh yeah, totally. We even have that feeling when you're being watched. Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Like, how can you tell that somebody's eyes are looking at you without seeing anything? Like, that's strange.
That's wild. Yeah, it's all these like spider senses, you know? It's like these sixth senses that we have as humans. And I think they're so powerful. Like, I'm like the, you know, other end of the pendulum where I'm still believing in the Force and Jedi mind tricks, you know? Like, I'm full blown thinking, you know, we've lost all these like wild nonverbal persuasive arts. We've lost this, you know, ability to put my hands out and just lift up a boat and heal people, you know, like Jesus, just laying my hands on people. Like, I'll tell the kids all these things because I'm like, maybe they are true. Like, maybe we've just like lost the belief in them, or we've lost the ability to do them. So like, I hate that for us.
Yeah, I think it is the belief.
I know. And if we confidently like believe that we could do it, if I feel like I can put my hand anyway. So as a mom, I do this all the time. If the kids are sick, I'm just like so strong in my belief system that like I can heal them. Like, I made them. They are part of me. They're like an extension. They're like my arm or leg, and I can put my hands on them and I can like heal their bodies or take away their aches. Like, I'm convinced I can do that. So there is this big power of persuasion that's nonverbal, and it's your energy and it's your intention. And the same way you set goals and intentions for yourself, I think you can do it for other people. So that's the idea behind Reiki. And then as a business person, I think you really have to be aware of it, because when I've found this, like I've found if I'm like having an off day, my KPIs, my key performing indicators, will be lower. I'll sign less clients up. I'll like contact less people to get them in for trial classes, like all these things that like I normally do on a daily basis as like part of my new role in my business, or talking to my team, or like transmitting information to my team. Like, the day just feels off. Like, I'm not in my right state. I'm not doing all the things that I normally do effortlessly. I'm struggling because I'm in a bad emotional place. And I think we've all had those days, right? So I think it's really interesting. Again, maybe we don't have the diagnostics to like test it, but if you could go to the doctors on that day and they could test your hormones, maybe your hormones are off, right? Or maybe your frequency's off. Maybe you're vibrating at like a messed up frequency and you're putting out crappy vibrations to people. So I think it's way more powerful than we understand or we give it credit for. And I think it might be like a lost art and lost belief system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. Do you want to talk about this? I guess, yeah, neither one of us really know a lot about it, but I was thinking about, when we were talking about the episode, I was thinking about infrared.
Yeah, kind of.
It feels like it's an energetic field to me. Like, if you're looking at least it's a diagnostic tool to show that humans are giving off heat and energy, right? I guess you could still just touch someone and feel their heat. Like,
yeah, you're still, no, infrared
transferring energy.
Infrared is very, like, yeah, I guess you can use it as an analogy, but it's obviously a very scientific thing. Like, infrared is just light spectrum that we can't see. But
right.
And it's typically it's dealing with heat. So like you can have an infrared heater, and that's just putting these wavelengths through the air, and it heats things.
All I'm saying is that I think it proves that humans are putting off an energy.
Well, of course, yes, we are putting off
energetic
stuff.
Right?
But there are other there's all kinds of different like psychic energy stuff that people have designed meters that they say they can read it, or like there's people, we were talking about this with Annabelle the other day, but there's people that see auras.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
and they say they can see like the color of people's auras, and
Totally.
I've heard there's videos you can learn how to see your own or something like that. But
It's amazing.
and your different color kind of puts off like your intentions and things like that. So
That is so awesome. Yeah, let's find somebody who does that.
yeah, that
Get
would
him
be
on the
interesting.
podcast.
I've always been curious about it.
Yeah, let's find one of those. Let's find these beautiful humans that can read auras. Amazing. So yeah, I wanted to talk about three different things, three, that all kind of go with this like nonverbal persuasion. The first one is prayer. And there's been so many studies done. The one that I was reading about was called the STEP Project. It was done out of Duke University in 1988, and it was a famous study. Patients who it was basically just studying heart surgery recovery patients that received prayers. So again, very simple study, just having, telling people, hey, these people are praying for you. You just had heart surgery, and yeah, the recovery was so much better. The outcomes in some measures of healing were better with the power of intention coming from other people praying for you. And then also there's been tons of different studies, like especially through spiritual and religious communities. I mean, that's why we have people come in these giant, floods and packs of people in giant communities to pray for people. We have hospitals where they have like a little chaplain, or they have prayer groups or little chapel where people can go and pray. So I think it's not uncommon. We're social beings, we're social animals, and it's so normal for humans to be able to support each other and make a difference through intention on each other. And we all feel it, right? If somebody messages you, you're having a bad day, or they know you're going through someone and they're like, I'm thinking about you, happy birthday, I love you, you're my friend. That really does like change everything for people.
Yeah, I think they even do like Reiki style practices in Eastern hospitals, and that they
100%.
still do. They'll do like energy healing as well as regular medical practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think again, like just getting to a place in our society where this is like unbridled, like there's no training involved in it. They don't like teach us, same as meditation, right? It was almost like it's like as if something through society, through our community said like, we're not doing this anymore. We're not allowing people this power. And I hate thinking like that. I hate thinking that like, I would rather think it was an accident, and an entire population of people were exterminated, and with it went their belief systems. I hate to think that like people know how to do this and they're just not teaching us it. Like they have us in school for 8 years. Why aren't they walking us through like, think of the color blue and now put your hands on your friend's back and like send that blue color into their spine? Like, why are they teaching us any of this, right? I think it turned into a thing that was just like, nope, this is medicine, or this is our practice, and we're not going to use things like this. But yeah, I think it's great if they're still using it. I saw a lot of this going on in Korea, not necessarily in the medical, like not in an institution, but within friends. Like they would just like, oh, like you're sick, like turn around, and they would be like rubbing each other's back and beating on each other's chests and stuff. Like they had all kinds of things and they all did it. So like it was taught to them that this is how you heal. This is how you fix someone who's not well, right? Tons of like rubbing oils on each other, things like that, like massage practice for us. That yeah, it was used as like a healing practice. It was when someone wasn't well. Yet this morning, Phoenix came to me, I don't feel good. And right away, I was like rubbing essential oils all over him, right? So I'm doing all these practices, but I have no education. So I'm convinced that my intention is enough. My intention's so strong, I'm going to heal my children. Okay, yeah, so the second one, perfect prelude, is hands-on healing, which is Reiki therapeutic touch, massage, or energy healing. So yeah, we got some examples here. There's Reiki studies. Research shows that Reiki practitioners help reduce stress, anxiety, depression, and even pain in patients in hospital settings. Patients report feeling lighter, calmer, and more at peace after these hands-on sessions. Man, think about hugs. How many times your kid hugs you and you're just like, you had the worst day and your kid hugs you and you're just like, oh my God, why was I even sad?
Yeah.
Their little cute hands, like just...
Yeah, Phoenix always gives me a hug before work, and
Aww.
it's a nice start to the day.
Yeah, it's hands-on, right? And I don't know, again, somehow we like over the years we lost this and we're like, oh, you weirdo, don't touch me. Like I touch everyone. They probably are like, she's too touchy, but I don't care. I'm thinking I'm like, passing on my energy and sharing it. Therapeutic touch, obviously, again, studies done at hospitals. I think this is where you find the most sick people. But you can do this, with anyone in your household. Like, don't be afraid to try to use your personal touch to heal people and express your intention for them to heal. They've done studies that it reduces pain perception, improves their comfort, and really can change chronic illness, which is just wild to me. Like why we don't do more of these kind of things. In fact, I actually feel like we've kind of gone to a point where like somebody's sick and we've like, well, oh my God, this is going to be a rabbit hole. I shouldn't even talk about this. But just the concept of like being contagious, you always hear people say like, oh, I'm sick, but it's not contagious. I have cancer, but don't worry, it's not contagious. And like somewhere along the line, we got this like, this belief system of like, back up, stay away, protect yourself, don't go near, right?
Yeah, I've listened to some people recently that they were talking about basically questioning the whole idea of germ theory, they call it, and they'll question germ theory. And these people are saying like there's transmission studies that they did back in the day, like they're trying to figure out how someone with a cold gets somebody else sick.
Yeah.
And they would do all these stuff like take people's snot or whatever and like put it in someone else's mouth and like all the things that you'd think would happen.
Yeah.
They touch the doorknob, everybody says that, so they would do that, and they would make someone else touch the doorknob and monitor all the stuff, and they would, all these things that they tried, they couldn't get somebody else sick.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing that happens is the mental, like, oh, that person is sick, and then all of a sudden it starts happening to you.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and if that's not even true, if that's not a true statement, if
sometimes
it's more
just... like, I feel it too, though. Sometimes it does just seem to come out of nowhere, and you didn't seem like you interacted with people. And
sometimes you all get it, and you're like, oh, it must be contagious.
Yeah, or it just goes through the family. Like, it really does seem like it works that way.
Yeah.
But since I've been thinking about it that way, I find I've been getting sick less.
It's not a predetermined thing.
I'll be around somebody at work and I'm just like, oh, that's fine. They're sniffling and they're not feeling good, but I'll be fine tomorrow. And usually I have been.
And I've also read the other, like some Buddhist philosophy where it's like, what's it called when like somebody has like empathy pain or something? Like where... I can't think of the exact like wording of it, but there's like Buddhist philosophies that believe that like you want to suffer together. So like if somebody's carrying something really heavy right away, you'll be like, oh, let me help carry that or something for you. Like humans do have that really bizarre empathetic spirit where like we don't want someone to suffer alone. So maybe that's just like their own immune system going down. So then your immune system's like, well, I'm going to go down too, because like I need to like be in suffrage with this person. Like it really like blows your mind when you start thinking about the possibility of the fact that maybe we were told that it's contagious, but like it's not.
Yeah, something like that.
And oh my God, again, this is so dark and I don't want to think about it, but what if like humans could heal each other? Like where does that leave the medical system that you're running and buying, right? Where does that put the medicine where they want you to, buy that cold medication, but you could just be hugging each other better? Like,
sure.
So yeah, again, I said I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but there it is. Anyways, so that's actual physical touch, which can like do wonders for people, and studies have been done on this. Give out hugs, guys. Give the back rubs, give the hugs, touch people when they're sick. You're probably not going to catch it, but you might, change them and you might heal them. And that's amazing. And then the last one is, just, empathetic compassion. Again, similar to the prayer. It's just having those like good intentions for people. So I think you see this a lot with like nursing staffs, right? Like we say it all the time, but people that are in those, assisted living or like nursing care homes or, any job where PSWs, like any of those jobs where people are just like, they must be the most compassionate beings to be working with populations that are so high need, either sick or, dealing with mental illness or all the things. The studies are always there showing that those high levels of empathy tend to have people recovering faster, their overall outcome, they make such a difference. Again, shout out to all the caregivers in the world, even just, parents. I watched my parents, my mom specifically, go through dealing with her aging parents, and that is such like a beautiful thing to see how much joy that you bring to like the elders in your community and all those things. So there was some loving kindness studies done. They were meditation and focused compassion studies. And it really did like make a difference, an overall health difference and resilience on their recipient. So yeah, great. All great things and all very persuasive. I don't think we realize how powerful we are as humans towards one another. That's it. We did it. I thought it was going to be a obnoxiously long episode. But yeah.
I guess we could have gotten more into a lot of the things that we mentioned, but
clearly you didn't want to talk about the medical system. I saw your eyes roll back in your head.
Yeah.
I know. Where are you going to go? Because we don't know the answer, and we really don't, we don't know the answer. It's fine.
Well, I don't know. I never want to think. We know how we feel about it.
Yeah. I know. I just never want to think that people don't have our best interests at heart. That's my dream for every situation, right? I'm the optimist.
Yeah.
Which I think
that's the hope.
I think at the end of the day, that's what I wanted to take away from the episode is like optimism. Like you have so much power. You have so much power for yourself to change your own mind and change your own life and manifest whatever you want to do. And you have the power and persuasion to help people around you and heal people around you. So use your power. Go out there and use it. Use all the power. Great. So yeah, we don't really know where this is going to fall. So yeah, tune in next week.
Yep. Oh, and check out our YouTube channel. I've been adding videos about our adventures in Peru. So yeah, check them out. Artistically Married on YouTube.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and you'll never miss a podcast.
Good night.